Hello, everyone. My name is Eric Silver, and I've been on the Facebook Microsoft Teams site, and it seems that I just saw a posting this morning that said, well, how do someone who wants to use Microsoft Team for helping their schoolwork or helping their teams or helping just people working together remotely and I'm sure there's lots of documentation out there, but I haven't seen anything right now that shows how to do it from scratch. So I'm going to just come up with a scenario, and the scenario was actually one of the members on the group was having a situation where the teachers are not really well organized, and they just the parents are getting maybe upset, or they're just wanting to have a better way of keeping track of all the work and having the teacher a mechanism to work through all the users. So Microsoft, as you all know, like other companies like Zoom and Web Meeting and GoToMeeting, they're basically offering for free services to create Teams environment. And there's definitely quite a lot of resources out there, but Microsoft has actually managed to increase their usage of the Microsoft Team environment for about like 44 million users were there yesterday, which was on March the 19th, all around the world. And they all say it's easy to set up. And I think what we're going to do is, well, how do I get someone to be able to work through this for the first time? So I think you know a little bit about Microsoft Team, but Microsoft Team, the way I understand the Microsoft Team and the way I've used it, it's a collaboration environment, and it's a combination of chat windows. There's also file share that you can put in there. So it's all based around the infrastructure of Microsoft Office 365. But the Microsoft Team is a collaboration environment that is actually available for them. So I'm going to just take it from someone who's never done that, and I'm going to try to show what's involved in the user to actually start up a team environment and actually, as an owner, invite people to join your team environment, because ultimately it's all about collaboration. You want to be able to have people work together. And that applies to school, that can apply to anything. So it's free, and I think Microsoft is trying to get more and more awareness of that. But how do I do that from the end user, from someone who's never done that? So I'm going to work with a scenario here. I have a domain name called Technatorium, and the main name I have is called technatorium.online. It doesn't exist out there. It's just a fake domain that I have right now. However, I'm going to be, my name is David, or actually in my scenario, I'm David, and I'm a teacher. I've got a classroom of about 20 kids, and, I want to get some collaboration going and some fun stuff. So how do I do this? So the number one thing to do is you need an email address. So Microsoft is going to need to go through some steps with you to prove who you are, and then you'll be able to start your environment. So evidently right now I've got an email address right now, and as I know, my name is Joe. I guess not Dave, but Joe, and Joe is the teacher. So what's involved in first thing? So I guess I could always go on Google and see what we're getting at. So I'm going to say search for Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams. So at this moment in time, I'm not going to try to teach you how it works, but I'm just trying to help you get going on this. And there may be other videos out there. There's lots of good resource out there, but maybe not how to start it up. So it says here that, okay, there's lots of article, but, it says get started with Microsoft Teams. So why don't we click on the link and see what happens? So it says get started with Microsoft Teams. It says I need to pick up an account. I don't have an account. So the reason why you're seeing this thing is Microsoft understands who I am, because I've got other insights, other environments. So I'm going to use another account, and I don't want to use another account. So I'm going to cancel this. And this is also a good learning experience. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out and sign and create a new incognito window. So at least it doesn't know who I am. So, because remember, when you have these software, it's all installed on your computers, and you have to remember where it is. So, an incognito window allow you to forget that you have already logged in those systems. So, I'm going to look for Microsoft Teams from scratch. There we go. So, get started with Teams. And now I'm getting that first screen that says, okay, well, I want to give it a whirl. So evidently, this screen is simple, but at the same time, it says, okay, well, enter the email address of your company if you have one. So I don't really have a company one. So this is like the first time I want to get in there. So actually, I want to do is I want to go over to the get sign up for free. So I go over here, and there's another screen, and the first thing it does is asking you, who are you? So it will ask for an email address. Now remember, it could be your personal email address, it could be your school email address. It just needs one email address that you can manage all your information. Now for students, I would suggest use your school email address, but perhaps you may want to just have a throwaway email address or whatever it is, but just your personal email address. So I think I'm Joe, right? So I'm going to log in as Joe. I'm going to say who I am. I'm Joe at technatorium.online. Okay, so I guess it's okay. Now I got the email address. Now there are three choices of what Microsoft calls Microsoft Teams. So it took me a little bit of tryout earlier this morning, but there's really three options. But for our purpose, what we're going to do is for the work. So it assumes that you don't have something out there, you're not associated with your company, or they already have Office 365, and that would be for the for work that we are going to do. It doesn't matter, it could be any organization out there. Now there's other two options for schools. This is a special program for Microsoft. It's called the Microsoft Education System, and if we went that route, it would then ask you information about your school, and it will determine whether or not your email address is one of these school allocated programs. So we're not going to try to do that. We're just going to create a group that has nothing to do with any organization out there. So school wouldn't be appropriate. Now, the second one for friends and family, it's just Microsoft's way of saying get a Skype account. And I think you all know Skype exists there for many, many years. And it's basically a web-based communication. Everybody has a Skype account. So that's really not what we want to do. But truly, the core of the Microsoft Teams is under this third option called For Work. So I'm going to click on the For Work, and I press on the next button. So, next button, it takes a few while. It says, it looks like you're new here. So we'll create a new account with Joe at Technatorium Online. Now, it's detecting that this is new. So let's out and create an account. So we'll click on an email on the click, and it asks you for the password. So remember, this is a Microsoft account that you're going to be creating. It's free, but that password is the password that you'll be using to connect into all of the Microsoft environments. So some of you already may have an account that is Microsoft account, but I decided I want to start from scratch. So that's a complete version account that's not with Microsoft account. Now you all know that Microsoft has, like any other system, the password is important. So keep note of it, but make sure that it's a strong password. So I'm going to type in one of my password that I use, and I'm going to press next. So what's going to happen is that it wants to prove to know who you are. So now I told them I'm Joe at Technatorium Online. So he wants to make sure that Microsoft wants to make sure that's an actual email address. So it actually sent out an email to Joe at Technatorium Online. And in the email, it says, oh, no, now you're creating a Microsoft account. I'm going to ask you to give me a code that's embedded inside the email. So I'm going to go to the next browser window here. And I'm going to go to my domain. So IONOS, which is my mail server. Let's see. Oh, actually, I got another way of doing it. There we go. Sign in. And it's Joe at Technatorium Online. And I sign in. Oh, all right. So let's see. All right. So my password is incorrect. So let's figure it out. Now, I'm not trying to make this perfect, so this is part of learning. So let's see. Joe at technatorium.com. Oh, come on. All right, so I'm going to pause the video right now, and I'm going to fix this, and I'll be back.